Welcome to the future.
Who's this clown?
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poisons, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, poop.
Oh, you did the wrong thing.
Ah! What up, guys? It is episode 120 or issue 120 of Two Fat Guys Pull List. And yes, this is what you should have seen, because I was gonna, you know what, I'm trying something different where you see my face first, we talk about business, and then we cut to we introduce a wrestling style introduction to Nate coming into the show.
If it's not the John Cena, I swear to God.
It's John Cena! I need to get that. Unfortunately, we can't play that or we'll get copyrighted, but would be fun. I got to get like something made similar to that. But anyway, welcome to this episode. Let's talk about some business first, and then we'll get on to this week's pulls, which were small, but I would say mighty for sure.
Oh, I would agree.
As always, let's talk about our show sponsor, and that is Collected Comics and Games right up here in the corner over here. There it is. Yep. Yeah, they are our LCS here in the DFW area. They are a great team over there with Ron and Brent and the whole Collected team. They are awesome. That's where we get our books. But they have a website called brainycomics.com, and I need to pull it up here on my monitor. We'd love for you to go over to brainycomics.com, do a little bit of shopping. You go over there, you can get exclusive and variant covers, bundles, bad idea books, new comics, mystery bags, exclusive back issues, graphic novels, games, toys and collectibles, and even trading cards. Pretty sick little website there. Go check it out, go do some shopping, and then right as you're done, right before you finish, right before you check out, I'd love for you to type Two Fat Guys Pull List in that little search bar right there, press enter, and this is what's going to pop up. It is an upgrade that you can put in your cart. If you do the regular upgrade for $8, you get one mystery exclusive comic cover, which we saw at the front page. We'll go through those again. But if you do the premium for $15, you get two. Now, if you notice back over here, most of these variants range anywhere between $15 to $20, even $30. So there's a really good chance that you're going to get some awesome value with this deal. So head on over to bradycomics.com, do a little bit of shopping, put that upgrade in your cart, and then order it, right? And then once that stuff comes into the mail, make sure to tag us if you do so we can see what you got, because we're very interested to see what you got. So that's going to do it for that part of the business. Also, we're going to talk about our sub goal giveaway. We are on the road to 850 subscribers currently. As of right now, this number fluctuates, but now we're at 778, guys. We are climbing the ladder. We're getting there. When we hit 850, you know what we do. We're going to give away the CBCS 9.8 graded Green Lantern #1 retail incentive, John Stewart on the cover. So make sure that you're subscribed, you've rang that bell, and you've given us a like, because we're giving that away at 850 subscribers. Also, y'all know the drill. At 1,000, we really want to give this away, but we got to hit 1,000 subs. When we hit 1,000 subs, original Sentai and Amazing Spider-Man issue #4, first appearance Silk, 9.8 CBCS grade. Let's do it, guys. Let's give this thing away. All right, let's get to the main part of the show. Let's introduce him. The man behind the curtain. The man who knows all. You know him as Big Dog Nate. Give a round of applause for Nate Crawford. You looking? What are you doing? You looking down at your dick? What are you doing?
You want to see what I'm looking at? Do you want to see it?
No, not really.
It's comic book.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay, cool. What up, chat? What up, Empire? What up, Patty? What up, Joe? Sounds like Nate is the man behind the curtain.
Dick?
I mean, you like I literally
Why
cut
is
to
that
you.
what you thought of?
Because I cut to you, and this is you. You're looking
Listen,
straight
you had me
down.
off camera. What I'm doing off camera. Is my own
I
business.
literally gave you the audio cue, and here he is, and like.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
You
hear
know
the
what
dun 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 dun.
Well, we can't play that. I mean, I'll find something.
I am John Cena though.
Oh my god, this feels so weird. So by the way, I got my tooth taken out.
Oh yeah, he's got a hole in his mouth and he's been tonguing it all week.
Look at that. Ain't that crazy?
Please don't show chat your hole. It's not YouTube appropriate.
It's probably the only appropriate hole I could show on YouTube. Anyway, welcome guys. Let's talk about this week's comics. Like I said, it was a small but definitely mighty pool. You know, there were some good books this week, some not so good.
Really good books.
But let's get to it. So let's just kick it off right with Avengers Assemble, the Avengers Run, issue number 65, part 6 from Jason Aaron. Did you read this? Did you end up reading it, or did you?
I didn't. No,
dude, you did yourself a disservice, and I understand. Look, I get it. You've been burnt, right? But I told you you need to.
You've been talking about this event well enough that I'm gonna buy it as a collected trade.
Okay.
But at this point, I going back and buying all the single issues. They're not available on Unlimited yet. Just the very first issue is, so I'll wait for the collector's edition.
Right. Okay. Well, this was surprisingly good. And we're getting essentially the back history of this Avengers Prime, who is Loki. And I got it wrong. I thought it was the Loki that was originally cast to the God Quarry in that Thanos run, right? Where he stayed to become the ultimate storyteller. This is a completely different Loki, which initially when I started reading it, I was like, well, that's kind of a fucking bummer. But then we actually got a history of this, I guess you could call Loki Prime. Essentially, this Loki comes to terms with the fact that he is the genesis of the Avengers. The Avengers always start, there's a focal point, it always starts with him invading Earth. And so this specific Loki had conquered everything but this version of the Avengers. And so he said, you know, he went through multiverse, and there was just this consistent where, you know, the Avengers started with Loki. And so he went out and killed the Avengers, right? Destroyed them. Well, when you do that, all the other threats within the universe decide to invade. Thanos, I can't even remember, a shit ton of them. Like every villain that you can think of through the Marvel universe decides to go, well, there's no threat here. I can just take this shit, right? So he ends up, you know, in order to essentially atone, and I put that in quotation marks, his sins, he ends up defeating everyone and not just the villains. He essentially destroys his universe in order to become the sole inhibitor, the greatest Loki that ever lived. In order for him to be the greatest Loki who ever lived, he had to kill everybody. And there's this awesome shot where he's floating in space and there are just bodies floating around him, and he just looks quite depressed. And after he's done this, he decides to throw himself into the sun. And Turtle, you do it right. Thanos, Galactus, the Celestials, the Heralds, Gore, Red Skull, everybody shows up. So after he does this, there's really no point in living. He throws himself into the sun. And lo and behold, when he dies, he regenerates or is reincarnated at the God Quarry. And he is under this assumption that he's going to fused with the God Quarry like all these other gods that have, you know, ended up there. And he prays. He does one thing that he's never done in all of his existence, and he prays to the God Quarry, essentially to accept him. And the God Quarry is like, nah, bitch. Nah, we have something different for you. And he ends up becoming this Avenger Prime. And he assembles a team. He builds this tower. We get the whole backstory. And it's fucking awesome. It feels like Jason Aaron of old. It feels like the original run. No fluff. And, you know, the issue basically ends with him, you know, meeting up with all of this assembled army that he's created with multiversal Avengers. And they're getting their asses beat. And they're like, well, what did you know? How can we trust you now that we know that you're Loki? And he goes, I've brought you one more gift. I've brought you some backup. And the issue ends with 616's Avengers and 1 million BC Avengers showing up and be like, let's fight, bitch. And here we go. And it just felt good. It felt like it was Jason Aaron's book again. It didn't feel like we were jumping around to different topics and trying to, even though we were introducing a character, we were introducing a character that has been building since this whole event was teased in Free Comic Book Day of last year, right? So there has been this build that has been very absent from Jason Aaron's Avengers run. Yeah. And even within this Avengers Assemble thing, we've introduced new variants of characters that I'm like, wow, the way it was introduced, I just don't give a shit. With this, it felt like it had weight. With this, it felt like it had consequence. And this has got me so jazzed for the end of this run in a good way. Not in a like, thank God it's over, but like, how the fuck's it gonna end? And I'm really excited for it. And I hope I'm not getting my hopes up, but damn, it was good. It was so good.
See, and I think Last put it perfectly for at least how I feel about all of this. And he said, this is a strong part of the story. I wish Aaron's run was more consistent like this. Example, we only knew this was going to happen after the Squadron Supreme arc was over, which was in the mid to late 40s.
Right.
Issue
yeah.
wise. And so I agree. And now I'm feeling left out after all this. I mean, I said Thanos, Celestials, Galactus, all the Heralds, Gore, like,
yeah.
Damn it.
It was sick. And the problem, I'll tell you again, I think, our theory as to why it was so inconsistent was because of COVID. Like we were jumping into it and then they paused everything. And then it was very clear that Marvel editorial and executives were within the comic part of the branch were like, we need events, we need this, we need that. And so it got chopped up. And so we got Heroes Reborn and we got, this mini arc, and then we've got Avengers Forever. And, it just got really out of hand. Now I will say, I bet reading this entire thing, in its all of its glory, this omnibus that's probably going to be 2 omnibuses thick, it probably will be really fun. The only thing, the downside to it will be the inconsistency in the artwork, but that's comics, right? Like that's something that we both have learned the hard way. So I don't know. I dug the shit out of it. I thought it was really cool. Joe, I feel like, yeah, you will. I feel like they're trying to match the portal scene from Endgame. I dug it. No, it was really cool. Like they definitely did a good job there. I thought it was a lot of fun. Nate ate all the greens and left the steak on the plate. What are we talking about? Oh, what? When you were looking down? I'm confused. You read that and tell me what you...
I don't know, but it doesn't matter because it's not true. I ate all the greens and the steak.
You eat greens? I didn't think you ate vegetables.
I ate a couple of them.
A couple of them?
I eat the broccolis and I eat broccoli in all its forms. Okay, I know it's like 10 different vegetables, but I eat all those.
Okay.
It's like broccoli, cauliflower, what is it? Kale, broccolini.
You eat kale?
Yeah, I eat kale.
No, you
kale
don't.
Is amazing in a salad and in a potato soup.
Lies.
Like a zuppa toscana. Put kale in there.
Dude is full of lies.
Bro, have you ever been to an Olive Garden? I mean,
yeah, I've been to an Olive Garden.
Ritzy, but
shut up.
We'll get the zuppa toscana. They put kale in it.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, let's get going. What up, Jaden? Jaden's here. Thank you. I mean, dude, we love you no matter what. When you watch the show, if it's live or it's if after work, Jaden.
Oh yes.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
We're not smart. You're saying because I jumped off at the wrong time. I ate all my greens and then jumped off and left the steak.
See, whoop! I'm just not intellectually. I'm just not there. All right, let's move on. Oh god. Dark Web, final number 1.
Oh yeah, you loved this one. This is your pick of the week.
If I had this book sucked, I need to make that button.
This book sucked.
Dude, what the fuck was this? Artwork. There are 3 pages in this entire book that are worth noting that had either good or exceptional art. The rest felt absolutely rushed. This felt like a first draft when it came to artwork.
Which is very confusing for me because I was not expecting Kubert's art to be that.
It was, again, we try not to be grumpy. We try not to be
Well, like, here's what I don't understand. This is the same artist that was doing, has done almost every issue of Benjamin Percy's Wolverine, which we've enjoyed.
Well,
Like, I know we jumped off the book, but like the art was never the issue.
Yeah. Well,
I felt like maybe this was a rush job or something too.
For sure. And then let's jump over to another rush part of it. The story felt so rushed. Like, what the hell are we doing? And you were right. Ben was the Goblin King for literally an issue and then lost it, which I didn't like in the first place. So I was glad he didn't have it, but still, like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. This just felt unnecessary. And we are not this channel. We are not, y'all know. And if you're new here, then we'll just let you know now. We pride ourselves in not being grumpy. We pride ourselves in not being a negative Nancy's channel where all we do is shit on comics all day. But I'm sorry, this was not good. I remember when it was announced and it was like, this is an X-Men Spider-Man crossover event. And you're like, don't bite, James. Don't bite, because it's not what you think it is. And you're fucking right. It wasn't like, hey, let's regress Madeline Pryor back to her shitty self, even though we fixed everything in New Mutants. And then let's fix her again 2 issues before the ending. The only thing of consequence, or things of consequence that happened in this book, were Ben Reilly is in limbo jail. Okay. Well, dumb.
Which felt weird. It didn't feel like any sort of real conclusion to me.
No. And even Spider-Man was like, I'm trying to make amends. And time's up. That's what we agreed upon. Like, what? Who? When? Why? And then the other thing of consequence, I guess, is I would assume it's going to be some kind of plot point in another unnecessary, if not Fall of Krakoa storyline, and that is that now Limbo has its own treehouse tower in New York, and they are part of the equation now. Okay.
Yeah, and Krakoa was able to convince the United States that once again we've had another Limbo invasion of New York and like thousands of people die. And actually, yeah, we are okay with them opening an embassy now to the Limbo world. It's like, who's asking for this? Like this. Who is asking? Who's saying like, man, Limbo? We really need to get that more involved in the universe and make sure people. I don't know. I just don't.
My only thinking, and again, this is me. This is off the cuff. I did not have this thought when I initially read it. My only thought would be that Limbo having some kind of permanency or residency, rather, in New York is getting us ready for the Black Gauntlet with the Black Infinity Stone and making everybody zombies. That can be and that's a big stretch, but it's, I'm involved in that book, and that, to me, that is the only book right now that we're reading outside of maybe Fall of X, right? Because there's got to be some kind of saving, like something that saves everything. What up, Calvin? Like there's got to be this player that nobody sees coming, and then when it happens, oh well. If you want to know why Limbo's got a tower in Manhattan, it's because of the Dark Web finale number, that bullshit. Right. And so to me, that is the only thing, the only way it makes sense. Or just trying to make Madeline Pryor a much more prominent figure and more involved in Marvel Comics. Okay, like in X-Men and probably Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like maybe they want to give her more involvement in everybody's comics. I don't know. But overall, I felt very disappointed. The artwork was not even average at best. And I hate saying that. It does not make me feel good when I say shit like that. And the writing, this whole story, it felt rushed after, like, I think the second or third Spider-Man issue. You know what I mean? It just,
this one especially, it felt rushed, but even the significant parts felt like they were forcing us to, like, it was forced to feel important. We're like, this is not this is not important,
right? Joe says at the end part of Ben being serious and got his wife out of danger was the perfect tone that Beyond was. This should be more serious The idea was serious, but eating mailboxes was dumb. I will say, I did like the little mailbox at the end that was like, anybody got mail? You know, like that was kind of funny, but still, you're right, Joe.
Again, then that's a throwback, so that's
right.
why he's doing that.
And then Joe also, Maddie opened limbo. A lot of people die, but she ends the story with everything she wanted. That's trash writing. I don't disagree. Like, this event came out of nowhere. There was no build up to it. It was just like, oh, by the way, we're having an event, and then we got it, and it ended the way we thought it was going to end, which is very little consequence, extremely rushed, and now we're going right back into the Spider-Man book. We do get a 2-issue arc from a guest writer and artist, which I am super excited about. But that book is going to be filled with, well, why is the pool got eyeballs? We'll read Dark Web. Like, no, don't read Dark Web. Don't read Dark Web. I don't know.
Why does the pool have eyeballs?
Right. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I want to get off this trash mentality, because this is not what we are. But this was not. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because stuff like this, I think I don't want to say seasoned readers. I just think people that are looking for consequence and construction and continuity, this doesn't do it. And this, if anything, pushes people
I'm
away.
afraid it's going to do what happened to me with Avengers. Is it's going to push people away from what I bet is still going to be a really good run from Zeb Wells on Spider-Man. And it just distracted us, or deterred from what he did well in the first 9 issues of this series. So I'd like to get back to that so that we can do some good stuff. And maybe
Patty
people will get
says,
back on.
I just want Ben to be an inspiration, in my opinion. Yeah, no, I like Ben, and I even like the suit.
It seems like Zeb Wells hates Ben Riley.
Oh, that is very apparent. But I love the Chasm suit. I think I love the suit. Like, kind of hope he keeps it, but I doubt it. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Next, I hope the next arc is better. I heard we won't know what happened with Peter until issue 25. It's coming, because we did in one of our solicitations. I think was it April? I don't know. We're so behind on solicitations.
But it's. I mean, we've got 2 a month, so it's still probably in the 20s.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's talk about Peach Momoko's Demon Wars Down in Flames issue number 1, Phoenix versus Magic. Her variations. Artwork, fantastic. I really like the story. It's definitely much more involved. You do need to do your homework on these issues. You do need to have your interpretation and inspiration cap on to understand or to think, like, just to try to figure out which character is who, right? Because Peach doesn't make it. I don't want to say she doesn't make it easy for you, but she's doing her own thing, and she doesn't fucking care if you understand it or not. And I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's very bold, because there's 2 ways of doing it. I don't care if you don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to give you any reference points to figure out what I'm talking about. Or you can be like Peach and actually throw in the cultural references at the end of the book and go, if you really want to know, read. If you really want to know why these characters are significant and how they're being portrayed, read this. And I just think that's big. That's really big. My only worry right now is that the end of the book, and she put out that the next book is the end of this Demon Wars, but I'm hoping it's just this arc and not.
It said it was end. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't specify whether it's arc or the whole thing forever, but that's what it said.
Right. Yeah, so I'm hoping it's. Because the last one was Demon Days, right? Now we're in Demon Wars. Yeah. So maybe the next one will be like Demon World or a Demon Galaxy. I don't know. Maybe she'll go to space. Fuck, that'd be cool. But overall, I'm enjoying the arc. I really dig this, her takes on the characters, and I'm liking the conflict that we're dealing with, which is, it's essentially Civil War. It's her version of Civil War, but we're trying to figure out if we should give a demon its head back. And just that sound, that sentence alone is fucking metal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just sounds crazy. But I had a silly goose time with this book. It was super fun.
Yeah, I loved it too. And I actually am a little bit less. I gotten to the point where when I read this book, I haven't done very well at trying to figure out who the characters are representing, and I've just completely ignored that. I've just like when I
It's just the
notice, oh,
characters.
that's MAGIK very clearly. Okay, cool. Like
Yeah.
I'll go with that. But like I have no idea who the bird.
So that's the
heron-
Phoenix.
That's supposed to be Phoenix.
It's supposed to be the Phoenix, yeah.
Okay. Well, and the eyeballs is actually supposed to be Cyclops.
Yes, it's supposed to be Cyclops.
Okay, yeah. Well, this is probably the best rendition of Cyclops. We should just make him a little baby boy with one big eyeball that cries.
knew
as a
you were gonna
superpower
say
from
that,
now
dude.
on. That would, I mean, that's the best rendition of Cyclops ever. It's a better representation of who. What's his real name?
Scott Summers?
Scott Summers. Yeah, it's when I think of Scott Summers, I think of a little baby boy like that cries out of his eyeball as a weapon. And
Okay,
so,
okay. Let's just.
I mean, come on, Peach Momoko agrees with it. So anyway, I mean, I honestly think this is the first issue that wasn't my pick of the week of Demon Wars or Demon Days, and not because it was bad.
There's just other good books.
There's just other good books. I mean, this is probably going to be the pick of the month for art, though. Like, and
Yeah.
it's not even close.
Yeah.
Especially some of the earlier pages where when she goes back into the Yukai world, and it's showing like the morphing, and her face is like kind of distorting, and it's like almost Junji Ito horror-esque. Like, it's really cool. That's the kind of stuff that I really dig.
And I think she's gonna, she seems to be doing a lot of that. And I really hope, and I'm gonna be completely bummed if it doesn't get announced, like at the end of the next book, that she doesn't have another arc, set up that's gonna come in the summer. But we'll have to wait and see. But man, it's been so good, and I've really loved her interpretation. What up, Rich?
Yeah, Joe, he did that to everyone. He stole everyone. It's because of the clone girl that he stole that I don't like him so much.
Well, that got resolved. So anyway,
it didn't get resolved. He's still a trash human, and everyone is just like, man, he's all right. He's cool. He's the leader.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on. God. Moon Knight, issue number 20.
Loved it.
Yeah, man. We've got this. Someone's out trying to kill, or not trying. They are killing Moon Knight's entourage of the horror hotel. I can't remember the name of it. The demon motel.
Damn it! See, when you say dumb shit, that's not it. Now,
Dude, I don't have it in front of me because I'm just like Rich. We didn't get our books this week, and we had to find other means to read. Anyway,
Midnight Mission. The
Midnight Mission. What did it? Was it? Who's pulling the strings? Did they say, or was it a mystery character at the end?
We don't know yet.
Okay. So there's a mystery character killing off Moon Knight's entourage, and he's trying to solve it. Trying to get to people as before they die, and he lets, I think, 4 people die, or that he doesn't get to 4 of them prior to anything happening. But dude, this was again, McKay is killing it. I loved seeing Tigra in the book. More Tigra, please. More Tigra, more Hellcat.
Tigra.
I need Tigra. I don't know. Probably Tigra.
I think it's Tigra.
This book is so good, and
And when you've got me wanting to go back and read old, like barely passable Moon Knight books from a time that everyone goes, maybe if you really like Moon Knight, go read it. Like,
right
now, I just like really want to go back and see who these characters are. That's pretty big.
Yeah, no, it was a solid issue for sure. Rich, I think, speaking about Peach Momoko, I think they should give her the reins to creative new Japanese characters for Marvel. 100%.
Yeah, you don't think they should let CB Cebulski do that?
Wow, yeah, that's
the fact that guy's still employed by Marvel is
it's kind of just a hush hush. I'm right there with you, Joe. I think Zodiac is sending out the hit on Moon Knight, Old's friends. I'm sure, that could be it. I'm kind of hoping it's some like more devious demonic entity. I would love to see. Didn't Mephisto's son make an appearance in this book, or was that another book, Shadow or something? I can't remember his name.
Mephisto's son? No, I don't. Who's Mephisto's son?
Blackheart. Didn't he? I thought for sure he made an appearance. It was probably in a Doctor Strange book.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, I want something like that. Patty, I hear that snow has been coming down good in Texas. So says my radio. Well, that ended.
It kicked our ass this week.
But
that
it
was Tuesday through Friday. But yeah.
Yep. Literally
shut down school for 4 days.
Shut down our entire area for 4 days. I'm about to get on a little mini rant here.
Oh God.
When we consistently have weather like this between the end of January and into February, you would fucking think, okay, how much ice did we get? How much ice?
I don't know. What, in inches? Is that what you wanted in? Like
yeah,
2,
like not even
3?
an inch. No way. Like half an inch, maybe.
I don't know. How do you measure ice? I don't know.
You get out a ruler and oh yeah.
Oh.
How do you measure ice? What? Anyway,
like, that's not how precipitation works.
All I'm saying is, Patty up in Canada, right? They get fucking snow and they get thick things of ice, right? And their cities don't shut down. And I understand it's all about preparation and having the equipment, and it doesn't. I get that, but dude, we are so goddamn lazy and cheap down here. There's no reason why we should have shut down. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up. But there should have been no reason why we shut down for 4 fucking days. I was stuck in my house.
This is the problem.
With a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old not being able to get this goddamn tooth taken out because every time we'll get to reschedule because it's ice.
You chose to have them children's, okay? I don't want to hear it.
I love my boys, but they're fucking
and you still want to do it again.
That's true. Yeah, I want another one.
Man.
Anyway, Moonette was fantastic.
I'm about to send your wife the number of my guy.
She won't let him do it. She wants one too. Anyway, back to it. Rich, it did last week. Was warm today. Shut the place down all week. Yep. Joe, at the end of the issue of Moon Knight, he told that guy that all the Moon Knight's friends end up dead, so it makes sense. Oh, that being Zodiac for sure. Rich, supposedly to be 70 or close to tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be.
I wore shorts most of the day today.
Paradise. I wore shorts during the ice storm. I don't wear pants. Fun fact. Joe, I'm in North Carolina. We haven't had snow yet. Are you supposed to get any? Yeah, raining now. I know we're supposed to get more rain by Tuesday though, but no ice or snow. Got to store that salt in equipment places. It's expensive. See, Rich, you're right, and it's expensive, but it's a worthy endeavor because I think it is because you're not only everyone is displaced in the sense of parents, right? You got to keep your kids home from school. There's a mad dash to the grocery store to buy 17 gallons of milk because you don't, even though you know how long you're going to be inside your house. Like we went to Target. I'm sorry, this is not about comics, and I apologize for anybody that's new here. We went to Target on Friday, right? Mm-hmm. Went on Friday, and Sarah was like, I'm going to make something that involves milk. We went down the damn aisle, nothing. And you got to wonder, like, what's that person doing sitting on, okay, let's be conservative, 4 gallons of milk. So they froze 3. Like, Jesus Christ, man, chill out. Anyway, whatever. But no, I think it's a worthy endeavor to. I think you should have a big old bag of salt and sand in your garage, and you should have a shovel that can chop up ice. Like, I think it's with the amount of times it's happened since I've been up here, since I lived up here. Come on. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Patty, no, we seem to get dumb this year. I can't lie. We had roads closed, all sorts of other stuff. Had drifts off the road 7 feet, and oh, geez.
Yeah, so, okay. 7 feet. No, we had like an inch and a half.
If that. 7 feet. All right. Let's talk about Scarlet Witch issue number 2. This is my pick of the week.
Okay, nice. I'm very close for me.
This was so good, man. Like, talk about a character deconstruction and reconstruction with Scarlet Witch, dealing with her past while she's helping others, and Steve Orlando is just weaving in and out of her backstory and involving it in these books, and I fucking love it. Orlando is now, not slowly, is becoming one of my favorite writers at Marvel.
Yep.
Dude can fucking write. And then the artwork I thought was fantastic. This Viv storyline and just seeing Scarlet try to show some semblance of motherhood towards Viv, even though, like, you know, Vivian's very like, you're not my mom. Like physically, by the bounds of science, you are not my mother. And she's like, I know, but I still feel connected to you, and I'm going to help you in any way that I can. And I loved that. I loved it so much. And I liked the personification and the physical forming of Wanda's suffering and losing her boys and giving it to the demon, to giving it to Blackheart's daughter, and her eating it and then like never being satiated, her hunger being resolved. I thought was so good. I thought it was great. And then the backup with Storm and Scarlet kind of basically telling her like, you have this spiritual nature. It was so good.
That has huge implications for her as a character because, I mean, obviously whoever wrote that story is taking a lot of liberties, but it passed editorial, which means Marvel is approving of everyone saying that not only is Aurora this the Omega mutant, because after what Al Ewing has done, I mean, she's literally got to be the Omega mutant. But now, by the way, all of her power also steeped in magic as well. Like,
just
how is Storm not the strongest single person in all of Marvel?
I mean, she is.
Oh, also, and she's never died.
Right.
She's like one of the only characters in Marvel that's never died.
Magic Storm incoming. Yep. Well, all I gotta say before we get to the comments is 10 out of 10. I love this book. It's my pick of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right there with you, Rich. I was a bit hesitant when the book was announced. I was like, but then I saw the writer, and Orlando has been impressing me with his Marauders run. So I gave it a little faith, and holy shit, was it worth it? If anything, I'm kicking myself in the foot for not picking up that Pepe Larraz 1 in 10 incentive. God damn it, I need to get it. I need to go find it because it's such a good cover. But I am impressed. I am impressed with this book.
Yeah, I would say that if you're not a Scarlet Witch fan, which I could understand if you're not, you might not like this because she's getting redeemed pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, she's
I
getting
think
ready for
it's good.
Avengers.
I think it's about time. I mean, we've been shitting on Scarlet Witch character, almost understandably since 2006 was House of M. And so I get it, but I really do enjoy this redemption of her character. And I like that we're using some side characters, grabbing Viv, who we really haven't seen. I mean, Champions got canceled 3 years ago, so we haven't. I don't think we've seen her since. And I believe the next issue is supposed to have her sister Polaris, who is a character that way gets underplayed. So this book's great.
No, 100%. And Joe, there is a Blades story with her daughter. I think it's already out. It came out the same week. I think so. Where was that Rich thing? I hesitant about Scarlet Witch 2. I didn't like the first one too much of my dear Abby. I need help type of comic. Maybe I'll have to check out with your review. I think it's worth it, but if you didn't like one, maybe not. But I think if I'm gonna say something bold here, issue 2 was actually a lot better than issue 1, and I absolutely loved issue 1. I thought issue 2 was even stronger, and that is very rare. Issue 2s are usually where we have a flop, right? We get this middle ground of like we're still kind of trying to establish what we're doing to the point where it loses momentum, and Orlando has just picked up the pace. He knows the direction he's going in. It's not, you can definitely tell that the roadmap in his mind has been set, and he's not figuring it out as he goes. And I really do think it's because we're trying to we're elevating Scarlet for our Avengers run in the summer. And I
forgot she was getting added to the team. That makes sense.
I'm her for that. Anyway,
me too.
Calvin Storm has had many magical powers and weapons temporarily. Rich, Storm has always been one of my favorites. Gonna have to pick up the Storm one next week. Oh yeah, for sure. Storm, you say, might go track him down. Yeah.
Joe,
Jaden-
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Joe, this is not a 3-issue mini. See, issue 4 has already been solicited for April, so this isn't ongoing. I don't think we have a for sure end date on this yet.
It's so good. Let's see here. Champions was terrible. Got it. Jaden wasn't great. I hate this. Okay, you said that. If you like Blade, I can tell you from the leaks of the OG MCU script, it will flow closely to the Blade daughter book. My thoughts: it needs serious work and probably a better origin. I don't know. The last
I can't even keep up with.
Well, yeah, the last leak that I saw on accident on TikTok was some guy reading a leak about the Ant-Man movie, and I was like, this sounds stupid to the point where it just doesn't sound real. So I just try to anyway, that's my pick of the week. Silver Surfer Ghostlight issue number 1.
Did you read this?
Yeah.
Okay. I need help. I need to hear your thoughts first.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Okay.
And I will take our brother Rock and Robbie his review.
Okay.
Which was Marvel saying we don't have a Silver Surfer story, and this is his interpretation. I just agree with it because I don't know what the fuck's going on. We don't have a Silver Surfer story. He sells comics. We need to introduce this new character. Let's meld the two, even though this character is associated with Silver Surfer. That's how it felt to me. And I agree with that interpretation because for 90% of the issue, I had no fucking clue, nor was I interested when reading it. I was like, why do I care? What's going on? I don't. And the end is intriguing, right? Silver Surfer does show up and go, "What are you doing to my friend?" That is interesting, but I couldn't. I don't know. I again, not trying to be grumpy. This is my last thought.
Okay.
Not trying to be grumpy, but this cover is extremely misleading. That's all I have to say.
So, okay, I wanted to make sure. At first, I thought my problem was I was being a Silver Surfer homer and giving this more credit than it was due, and I am correct because I was like, oh man, I really need to like this, and there was just something wrong. I was the problem here.
Yeah.
But one, you're right. Silver Surfer was technically only on 2 panels or 1 panel in this issue.
I think 2, maybe 3, maybe.
And so that's a problem when the book is Silver Surfer. That is a big problem for me. Unfortunately, again, we try not to trash anybody's art, but the art made this very difficult for me to read. The lines were so thick on the actual ink work. The lines were so thick that everything felt like it was smudged and blending together for my eyes, and I genuinely had a hard time looking at it.
I can see that.
I'm not saying the style is bad. I'm saying I had a bad time seeing it, and so it made me not want to read it. And then we paired that with a script that probably had double the amount of words that it needed in it, and we could have said all of the exact same things just with less words. And so what we ended up with,
which is saying something coming from you, because you are a seasoned reader. You read outside of comics. You read hefty books, and so I feel like I think that's a big. I don't know what the word is. I just feel like that means a lot coming from someone like you.
If I get worded out, it seems like any other person's going to get worded out too, because it's it was a lot. It was too much, and it was just sort of rambly and sort of overly descriptive, which is not necessary in a comics medium. We're seeing the things, this isn't a novel. And it was just too much. It was too much. I'm a huge Silver Surfer homer, so if I see this at half price one day as a trade, I might pick it up. but I will not be reading any other issues.
I would read it on Unlimited. I'll read it on Unlimited if something happens that's like, oh shit, you need to go read it. Turtle says, question, Ramita or this art? I will say I would probably pick this art over Ramita still. I
would easily pick Ramita over this.
Oh wow. Okay. Split.
Because I genuinely, this hurt my eyes. I just had a hard time with it.
I see that. Anyway,
it took like it felt like someone took Dani's art. Dani's the girl that's been doing the backups in the Batman and stuff like that, and like blew out her lines like 10 times the size of her lines. And it was just like,
Joe, trade. Okay, right on that. Marvel's lacking in cosmic stories right now. I agree.
And that's the thing that's really disappointing about this. But I didn't include it in the review because it's not this book's fault. But it's like Marvel's so lacking in cosmic right now, and Silver Surfer could be the book to lead the way. And then this is what we did.
That's the other thing that
we took Silver Surfer and put him into a family focused down home Earth story.
On Earth. That's exactly what Rock and Robbie said.
Thank you.
Yeah, Robbie was like, "This is an Earth Silver Surfer story, and I'm not here for it." Sorry. All right. X-Force issue number 37, second to last book, our last Marvel book of the night. Who is the man with the peacock tattoo? All right, Turtle. If you can help me out here, I didn't do my homework. I didn't watch Comic Book Herald. It is not Sinister. It is the genetic Jeer. It's a character who splices genetics.
Before.
Right, I think so. And so he's a clone. He's a clone of that guy who ends up making another clone, who is also trying essentially to make his own mutants. That's what we got here. Deadpool stole the show. Super awesome. I think, again, I'm sticking with the book. I'm sticking with X-Force.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I really hope that when the fall of X happens and hopefully Krakoa survives, the idea of Krakoa survives, that we get a paring down but also revamp of our X books, and we get new writers and new creative teams, because I wanted to know who this person was 2 years ago, not now. I feel like we'd be telling different stories with X-Force. I feel like X-Force has lost, even though X-Force is starting to move back into the more espionage, more grotesque, more edgy, and oh shit moments. It is definitely doing that. I will say that. But it just doesn't feel like the CIA of Krakoa anymore. It just feels like it's put itself in a box. Gene Engineer. That's the
Gene. Yeah, Gene Engineer.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there you go, Joe. I wonder when they're gonna go to the Kid Omega story. Kid Omega I loved him in the story, and he got taken out. I'm kind of ready for a revamp or a reset for X-Force with unfortunately without Benjamin Percy. Throw somebody new on it, or someone a little bit even more seasoned than Percy, which is crazy to say. But overall, it is what it is. I'm sticking to it because we are answering things that I wanted to know, and Deadpool is still involved, which I like, and Wolverine was non-existent in this book, which I definitely dug. And I know we're getting I know because of solicitations, we're getting close to this Chimera version of our X-Force team due to the man with the peacock tattoo. So I am excited about that. Like, it's going to be fun, but I'm just ready. I am definitely ready, outside of really Karen Gillan and Ewing in Orlando. I'm ready for the entire X office to be revamped, new creative teams, less books, more important books rather than 12.
Right.
So that's where I'm at. And I know you didn't read it, so. Patty, the name Splice must have been taken.
Yeah.
Would you say X-Office and Wolverine, or X-Force and Wolverine is most successful X book that are the only books that the creative team is the same? I wouldn't call them successful, but then again, I'm not reading Wolverine right now, and y'all have been saying that it's been badass. But to me, Benjamin Percy, he gets 64 pages instead of 32 when these books come out, because Wolverine and X-Force are the same book. They're literally the same book.
Yes,
and-
but I think Joe's answered his own question, at least the way I would have, which is you would think if sales were bad, a new team would come in, and I absolutely agree. I don't, unless both Benjamin Percy and Adam Kubert have like contracts, and Marvel's just like, oh god, just let them die out on X-Force and Wolverine, which I don't think is what they're doing. Obviously the sales are telling us that we're wrong, or maybe it's just not for us. Not all comics are for us.
Yeah.
The ones that sell really well.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. I enjoy what Karen Gillan and Al Ewing and Orlando are doing over here, and I'm not really. This just feels. I don't even want to say it feels old. It just doesn't feel like what we started reading at the beginning when the X Office just had this huge roadmap of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everything just felt fresh and new, and right now it feels like we're just trudging along, and that's disappointing because I like reading comics and I don't like picking up a book because I'm like, well, I want to keep it going, and I read it and I'm like, well, that was kind of a waste of 3 or 4 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of stinks. But anyway, solved. Mystery solved. All right, tell me about our last book of the night, Where Monsters Lie, issue number 1.
This is my pick of the week.
Okay, hold on.
That's dates.
Also, it gets double bonus points because when I went to pick this up on Saturday and our books weren't there, was the main reason. I was on the fence about this and our books weren't there, so I was like, I might get that. And I looked at it and saw that there's a James Sticco variant cover and James Sticco's work, so I was like, okay, this is no. Right. So this is Kyle Stark's most recent book that we have talked about of his was I Hate This Place. Remember in the had the title with I fucking hate this place. Yeah. Which I actually, now that it is over, I want to pick it up in trade. I actually dropped that one because of my overwhelmingly large pull list, not because it was a bad book.
Why do I have a text from you that says "Hit me up, big boy"?
Oh, because I texted you that about 30 seconds before you called me.
Okay. Just making sure. I just saw that on my phone. I was like, wait, the fuck?
No.
Sorry.
Because it was 7:57 and you still weren't on. So I was like,
oh, you're getting impatient. Okay.
This story is about a closed community out in the middle of a closed, like gated home community out in the middle of nowhere. And it's all of its residents are serial killers. And they essentially all live in a community together where they can support each other, like buy groceries. There are normal looking serial killers who can buy groceries for the people that have like carved their faces off and then sewn other people's skin onto their face.
Okay.
Obviously those people can't go buy their groceries.
I mean,
they help if they help monitor you. So if maybe during one of your murder sprees you get knocked out and are left for dead, and maybe the police are about to be there and find you, they'll come pick you up real quick. It's a really nice, great, wholesome community.
Gotcha.
Murdering serial killers.
Murder.
So the way the book starts out right away is, and I'm going to give you all some detail on this because I really want you to know this book. We started a wanted page and it tells you all the characters' names. Right away, I was blown away by Fuckmaster as one of the serial killers. And he has a teddy bear that he has gored out the stuffing in and has put on his hat as a sort of head helmet. Yeah, you also have Puzzle Man, who has sewn a skulled puzzle piece onto his face. Anyway, the book starts out with kids running away from one house to another house, and they're like knocking on the door. They're like, oh my god, please help us. And this nice sweet old lady opens the door and they're like, she's like, yes, like what can I help you with? And they're like, oh my god, he killed our friends. And she was like, where were you? And he's like, this other house. And she like pulls out a sewing needle and stabs it through this kid's neck, and it comes up out his eyeball and his eyeball sticks onto it like a little lollipop. Great. And then there's another woman who uses a ventriloquist dummy that has a knife. She slits a kid's throat open.
Oh my god.
There's another guy who we can't tell if his skin has been peeled away from the bone, like his skull face, or if he has superimposed another human skull on top of his face. But he chokes the last kid out into where his eyeballs pop out of his face. Lots of eyeball popping.
This is sounds great.
So it starts out really slasher like that. And then the rest of the book is just insanely humorous. It's basically them talking about how like it's the old woman and the lawn keeper talking about, oh man, remember back in the heyday we used to have all the greatest serial killers. Now we have all these dopes, and like, wouldn't it be good if we back in the heyday and stuff like that, sort of a conversation. And during this whole thing, one of the boys from the Puzzle Man's killing escapes and tells a detective that he has found where he tells this detective where he escaped from. The detective realizes, oh my god, multiple serial killers are living in the same area. Go get them. Back at the estates, they're having a meeting because Puzzle Man did one thing you're not supposed to do, and he eats. What did she say? She says, "Don't eat where you shit," aka don't do murders at your house, because if someone escapes, then clearly they live. And during the whole time, there's just so many funny things happening. Like the guy that has a clown and half of his mouth is the skin is shaved away from his mouth, so he always looking like he has a big smile. He's sitting next to Fuckmaster, and he's like, "Do I have to sit next to this guy? He really scares me. Like, he freaks me the fuck out." And like, she's like, "I literally told you there's never been assigned seating. Why do you keep sitting next to him if you're scared?"
What the hell?
Like, it seems like everything is really wholesome and fun and silly, but they're serial killers, which is just, I mean, it creates the ironic tension and makes it really well. I don't remember this one of the character. I think it might have been Pack Rat. They were super excited. They were like, "Oh man, they call their murdering trips excursions," and they were like, "Oh, we're so excited. He's gonna have a great excursion. He just ordered like a lawnmower with extra sharp blades and like a blade sharpener. He just ordered like hedge clippers, like all this shit." And then when it arrived, he just bought that stuff for his home because he was really excited his lawn looked good, and he hadn't like gone on an excursion in like 3 months, and they were worried that he like lost the edge and now he's not a murderer anymore, and all he cares about is like keeping his garden. It was everywhere you turned, there was a joke that was just absolutely funny. The art was serviceable. It wasn't anything that stood out like amazingly well, but it was good. But really, this was all the humor. Like, I have not read a comic this funny in a long time. Really,
all right,
fucking funny.
Weird humor, got it.
But it also, yeah, it's if you're into like slap sort of things, this is a like scary movie-esque, tongue-in-cheek take on the slasher genre. It's Dark Horse, so I was like, man, I haven't read a Dark Horse book in forever. 5-issue mini. I'm totally.
Nice.
We'll be reading all 5 issues.
All right. Sounds good. I mean, but all right, let's get to the chat really quick before we end the show, and we've got a lot to go over because I got some questions to ask y'all too. While I read this, I'm going to ask you, what did y'all think about our thumbnail last week? Did you like it? Did you like the sexy anime daddies on the thumbnail? Let me know. Let us know down in the chat, and then just to give you guys a sneak peek of what next week's is going to look like. That's what next week's thumbnail will look like. God. I've been having too much fun with Novel AI. Like, I've been playing around with it, and it's been super fun. Anyway, let's see here. Ben's still currently the only person on their book that started from the beginning of the X Office. Turtle, the X Office needs a central goal or narrative, which is why it feels so lost and avoid of real danger or promise. The X line started on Rebirth, Future, and Expansion. We haven't had anything built upon that and progressed on that either. Krakoan, or no, what does it say? Karen is fine as a writer, but to be the captain of X ship, ? That's not him. The stories are in how do you say that? Insular and don't have lasting effects. Sorry, I have a brain, but it's not that big. I agree with most of what you said, Turtle. But I still think I don't know. I like Karen. I think Karen's doing a good job. Me too. Joe, question: DCU news is in. What are your overall opinions on the news and your favorite picks or projects that are coming in from James Gunn's announcement.
I will go ahead and let you know that initial reaction to all of that is I don't know what it is, because I don't care about projects that are this far out that are just going to get canceled again. So I literally don't know what they are.
I know what they
I'm gonna
are.
look them up real quick so I can tell
yeah.
you what I think about them.
I know what they are, and I felt a bit underwhelmed. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's because I'm just the lack of knowledge and enthusiasm I have for the source material. That being said, one thing that I liked and disliked at the same time was James Gunn basically calling out where the source material was coming from that these stories were going to be based off of, which I absolutely loved. But then because I know it's Warner Brothers, I feel like it's like, hey, we need to let people know that we got comics. Like, duh. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt kind of like a push that they put on Gunn to say, hey, you need, and I'm sure this isn't the case. I'm sure this is coming out of nowhere in my brain. But to me, the interpretation of him like name dropping Tom King's Supergirl run, or God, what was there was a Batman run that's pretty big that they're basing their Brave and the Bold with Damian and Wayne. Like, I was excited for it, but then I was also just very like, I don't know, it just felt kind of forced. But if I'm being absolutely honest, if I had to pick one project, it's probably the Superman movie. Just because I genuinely like Superman, and I'm interested to see where we go. I'm interested to see who they pick to play Superman, and how will they be able to tell the story that has been revamped over and over and over again cinematically to where we are excited for it. You know, like, yeah, it's James Gunn, he's writing it, like, I am excited for that, but is it going to be Suicide Squad James Gunn? Is it going to be Guardians of the Galaxy James Gunn? Or are we going to see something new from James Gunn? Which, again, that's part of the fun. We can speculate. So for me, I think that's the biggest one. If there's one project that I'm like, I could give two shits about, and I'm sure, Nate, you may be the opposite on this, I do not care about the team that can beat up the Justice League. What are they called? The Authority. I don't care. I just don't care.
I don't know anything about that, so no, not excited. Like, I'm sure it will be great, and it might be, but I don't know anything about it. So
well, there's characters in there that I know you like what's his name? He was in the War Planet. Two of the characters were in the.
I know who he is from that, but that's it. I can't even think of Midnighter.
Midnighter and the Superman, his boyfriend.
I know who they are from like 2 issues of Action Comics. That is it.
Okay. So that's, for me, I'm just not interested. And I'm sure James Gunn will do what he did with the Guardians and with the Suicide Squad and make these characters so relevant that they're going to become mainstays. And I guess I'm looking forward to that. But I don't know. And then the Green Lantern thing, I am actually looking forward to it. I know Hal is one of the main characters.
That's my most one, Green Lantern.
I am looking forward to that. But Superman for me is probably the biggest one.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. None of this stuff is coming out. Not even half of this stuff is coming out.
You don't think so?
No. I think based off of I think Superman, because it's Warner Brothers and they don't put out the things they say they're going to. They're
so
not.
You don't think they're even going to let James do his thing?
No. What did anybody think they were going to let James do his entire?
I mean, I think it's a bold move to put him like
it is, and you know who's not known for following through bold moves.
You're right.
Any of the people that have anything to do with DC EU at all, in the slightest bit. There's no way all of these things are coming out. Superman Legacy will probably make it. What are the first 3 that are released? Superman Legacy, Brave and the Bold, and what? Maybe Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Those 3 are going to come out. They're not going to make $10 billion, and Warner Brothers is going to can the whole goddamn thing. This is not happening. We're not getting Waller Creature Commandos. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. I'm not going to waste my time getting excited over stuff that I don't believe. I really hope I'm wrong, and I hope 5 years from now, kids are having debates over whose cinematic multiverse is better, DC or Marvel. I would love that, and I would love for everyone to go, James Gunn is a genius and he's way better than Kevin Feige. I would love that. I just don't believe for a microsecond that's going to happen.
Well, Jaden says, I'm not really excited, to be honest. I know he's starting Superman over. Green Lantern interests you, Rich. Joe, I feel that about Robin, but it's been years since we got a Robin in the movies, and doing this newer one will probably work out because they still have Dick and Jason and could keep Tim as Robin. Basically, the Green Lanterns got you excited. What did Joe say?
Joe said, Nate is speaking from a scarred fan, us Cowboy.
Oh, the card, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Rich, you say, the part that confuses me, are they going to have an old Batman that has already had 3 Robins before Damian, but a young Superman? Yeah, it's all...
I don't think so. I think it'll be he's the first. And here's the worst thing. I bet you Damian is the only Robin of this cinematic universe.
Whoa.
If for at least, again, if it's successful for years and years and years, and then it's going to be fucked up to where, like, we're not doing Dick Grayson as Robin. Like, he's way too much Nightwing now. Like, we're not going to do it. He's Nightwing, and so I mean, I don't think that's right, but yeah, you're going to have young Superman with a just starting out Batman and his son as his sidekick, which is all kind of...
Somebody said something about anime. I saw that like a while ago. Oh, Joe, y'all on anime kick. I started Demon Slayer. Anime never been my thing, so far I like it. Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of anime. I mean, if you look over here on my other desk, I literally have 4 of 5 Evangelion original mangas that I bought. Like, I saw them at Barnes & Noble and picked them up so fucking fast, and I had only left, like, you know, there were copies of like 2 or 3 of them, and they got picked up within minutes of me picking mine up.
Yeah.
I'm reading a ton of manga right now.
Yeah, this is my TBD right now for manga. I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, I am.
I don't know how many people on the show, you know, read manga, or if there's a good...
Here's what I'll say about... Here's what I'll say about manga and anime in general. I would love when the day comes. I'm not going to say if the day comes. When the day comes, when the day comes and this show is full time, and we are doing this full time, and we're living the dream. Maybe we have our own comic shop. I don't know, but we're doing this full time. I want us to review not only comic books, obviously shows. I want to do anime, and I would love to start reviewing manga, because I think, you know, there's a lot of people that read manga, and I think it would only be right to include it. I mean, it's a medium that we're digesting. We're just not talking about it on the show. And our LCS, Ron's picking up manga every week. He's getting new books every week, and so, like, I want to support it there too. I mean, yeah, I'm going to Barnes and Noble, but I can start ordering it through Ron. You know, he can start. He's curating his collection right now. It's just, I think if there's one place, I mean, here's a whole question that we didn't even intend to answer. Barnes and Noble's current manga section has exploded since when I was in high school.
Oh,
I mean, it used to be a shelf.
The past 5 years.
Yeah, it used to be a shelf, and now it's like a whole massive section front to back, which is pretty crazy. And then you've got retailers like Target and Walmart that have manga now. You know, they have, I mean, it's their shelf, but they have manga now. They have Chainsaw Man, they have Bleach, they have My Hero Academia. I mean, they've got a ton. So I don't know. I would love to be able to introduce vice versa, somebody who's really into manga, who hasn't really thought about reading comics. I would love to be that avenue for that person, and vice versa. I would love to be the avenue to us who read comics, who have thought about getting into manga, but it's either too nerdy, or you don't know where to start, or you feel like it might be too pervy. I just, I think that's a valid statement, because I think some people they don't want to approach it because they think that manga is just, porn essentially, and that's not the case. So yeah, I would love, I want, that's a goal that I would love to get to reach, and we're going to reach at some point on this channel where we all encompass a bunch of different medium just outside of comics. So yeah. Anyway, let's get back to it. I mean, DC has had like 5 other movie slates that never happened. You're right. Joe, y'all getting into manga now. I thought about picking up some, but I love my colored full-size American comics.
Tell me about it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're totally right.
I need
I used to because of school, but had it in the library. They wouldn't allow regular trade paperbacks, but it's been years. I want the book that Damien was reading.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was cool. I don't care about the Authority. Apollo and Midnighter are awesome. How dare unfriend lol? Not really though. Love you. Sorry, Empire. I'm sorry. I know.
Oh no, we like Apollo and Midnighter. I'm just saying I don't know much about them. All I know is, and I said it was just those 2 issues of Action Comics. That's not true. The 8 or 6 or 4 issues of Superman and the Authority, I did enjoy that.
Rich says, "Wait, manga's not porn." Cancels Amazon order. Patty, I'm scared of Walmart getting comics and stuff because look at the pets and fish they want. They want all in on, and never had local places close and then stopped selling fish and tanks. Yeah, yeah, it's weird when I see comics at Walmart. It's really weird. Sometimes they get exclusives that end up becoming like worth a lot of money because people don't pick them up, and then someone just picks it up and they're like, "Oh, look, I got a $500 Superman." Joe, y'all should do a video on Western comics versus manga and tell us why you love them both. I like that idea. Listen, there's manga and then there's hentai. You'll know which is which. No, trust me. I think there's a misconception.
Trust him, he knows the difference.
Shut the fuck up. Look, I'm
he
just saying.
Wasn't always married.
Are you done?
Probably not, honestly.
No, you're not.
You go ahead.
All I'm saying is I think there's a misconception. I mean, there's misconceptions with comics, right? Like the other night, I read our entire pull list in bed, and Sarah, my wife, was reading her book, and she's like, "Look at us reading," and I was like, "Thank you." And she's like, "What?" I said, "Well, thank you for even considering me what I was doing considered reading." Because a lot of people don't. Like, there's a misconception that comics is not considered reading, and it is.
That's just like an incorrect opinion.
Right. And so I think that there's also that also can be misconstrued when it comes to manga. And I think that a lot of people in our generation, as millennials and older, and they just see it as something that is pervy. And that's not the case. And then, yeah, I don't have enough time in the day. There are animes that I want to watch right now, like the whole new Bleach arc, the final arc, has been out for a while, and I watched literally the first episode and haven't gotten back to it. And in that time, it's already been dubbed, and I love watching anime in its original form with subtitles. But then when you say I have a dub version too, I'm like, well, shit, now I can really enjoy it, The new Trigun series is... I've watched the first episode and I need to watch the rest of it. I want to, and it's about to get dubbed. So there's a lot of content that I think we don't talk about here because we just don't have enough time. We're not full time in this. This is a pastime for us, which we absolutely love doing. Don't get us wrong. Like, I enjoy coming here every Sunday and talking comics with y'all and geeking out. It's the highlight of my week. I love doing it. But there's so much more that we could do that I want to do. And the only way we do that is we grow the channel. We keep on pushing along, trying to get to 1,000 subs, and then it's onward. We just keep going, guys, and we create more content for you as we grow, which I want to do. I want to have 2 Fat Guys Pull List t-shirts. I want to have an exclusive membership for people that would love to that would want to join, that would get exclusive merch, like potentially the anime style version of our logo that I posted on Instagram. Like, I want to do that stuff, and I have aspirations to do it. I mean, look, we started this channel on Twitch, and we were talking to 3 people at the beginning, and one of them was my wife. Just had her iPad on, right? So it's not like we haven't, we've worked hard, and it's all because of y'all. Like, we've had the support that y'all have thrown at us and y'all's commitment to watch and listen to us talk our stupid opinions, and I couldn't be more grateful for it. And to anyone and everyone that is watching the show that meets us at the shop, you know, y'all freaking rock. I love going to the shop and running into y'all and y'all, hey, I saw the show. Like, it's great, and I just want to keep building it. Like, that's my dream. And you know, Nate, you can chime in whenever you think, but I just,
Yes.
my aspiration for this channel is to just continue to grow the community and make it our full-time job, where we don't miss a beat on things, and rather than like, oh, we got to get home from work, then make a video, then I put it out, you know, like we're gonna get there, guys, and we do it. We're gonna do it because y'all support us. Y'all come here every weekend and watch us talk, and I love it. You know, I didn't know when we started the show where it was gonna go. It was really just me and Nate expanding our conversation that we were having at work during lunch and shifts. You know, we would talk about art, what we read, and then just an overwhelming amount of people that were just Joe, damn, your wife's quit watching the show. Yeah, dude, she's asleep, man. She's asleep. I don't know, man. I love it. I don't know what else to say. I know I just ranted there for a minute, but I love fucking doing this. It's so much fun. It's just, I love this community, and you know, the other mission statement we have is we're just trying to, what up, Wolverine? We're trying to stamp out, or not stamp out, but just kind of overload the voices, the negative voices, the grumpies that are pissed that Captain America's gay. You know, like, that's another reason why this channel exists, is because we, you know, who cares? Just read comics, man. Have fun.
About that story.
Remember?
Yeah.
That thing blew up too.
Captain's America. Or
yeah, all the Captain Americas.
Captain
like there
America.
was an indigenous,
Yeah, there's
LGBTQ.
is that Chris Campbell or?
I can't remember, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, the show reached Canada. I keep trying to tell dudes to check it out at the channel. Dude, Patty, do it. And also, Patty, by the way, we did get, oh, look at that, Wolverine subscribed. That is the first time we've actually got that notification. That's funny. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. What was I gonna say? Patty, we got your email about shipping your giveaway. We will get that to you. I will get that addressed to Nate, because Nate's got the box, and we will get that to your cousin or aunt. I can't remember who you said. We will get that to you because we have not forgotten. Also, we gave away a slab. I don't remember what it was. The Wolverine #1. It was like a 9.4 Wolverine #1, and it never got claimed. And that person has never come back to do it. And I'm gonna go ahead, like, that was over a year ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there as the next giveaway after Green Lantern, just because we said we were going to give it away, and we haven't yet. So I want to give that away too. Joe, still playing Marvel Snapped? I hear the Wolverine game is coming soon, bro. New season starts tomorrow, and I am ready.
MODOK is the main card.
Also, do y'all enjoy that? Do y'all enjoy me or Nate or us playing Marvel Snap on the show? Let us know, because that's been fun. We definitely play more than we should. That's for sure. But it's been super fun. I finally finished pull 3, even though those other cards got put into pull 3. I literally only needed Luke Cage, and then Luke Cage dropped literally like a night after it got sent.
Oh my god! I just have everything I want.
Well, no, I don't have Null. I want Null. I want Thanos.
Oh, because you're a Galactus player.
Because I have Galactus. Yeah. Play Snap. I listen. Yeah. That's awesome, Rick. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll get to it. We'll get back to it. I will. You know what? Maybe we'll do a new season drop tomorrow night. We'll just break it down and have some fun. We'll break down the game, the notes, the dev notes, and then we'll start playing the game and see if we get any of the cards. Because I have collector tokens now. Because I finished pull 3, I get collector tokens like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I got like a 400 drop the other day. It was fucking sick.
You can get up to 600.
Damn. Patty, I like the Marvel Snap. It took a while to learn, and I still don't know exactly what I'm doing, but it works. It works out. Look, I thought about that the other day. I think it was Nova. I remember when I started the game and I got Nova and I was like, this is such a dumb card. Why would I blow this card up? Like 1 point. And now I'm like, fuck, Nova is like the foundation to my Galactus deck. Him and Wolverine. Yeah. So anyway, it's super fun. All right. Well, cool, guys. I'm sorry I may have chatted longer than I should have. Wolverine, again, thank you for subscribing. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining this community. We're glad you're here, and let's keep it up. Like we love having New Year's coming in. Next week is another itty bitty week, but there are some solid books that are coming out. More importantly, that Storm book, the Brotherhood of Mutants with Storm. So keeping a lookout for that. There's some cool variants with that one too, so check that out. We have a solicitations video that we do need to work on. We'll get to that at some point. I am not getting a tooth extracted anymore because that has been done. So maybe we'll do it this week. I don't know. But yeah, catch us guys next Tuesday for New Comic Book Day, and then obviously live again here 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, live on YouTube where we talk about those pools. And we want to thank every single one of y'all that are watching this right now. We couldn't do it without y'all. And that's right. We got 13 viewers and only 3 likes. Smash the like button. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. We appreciate the reminder. But yeah,
Patty, you can play against friends now. They have battle mode, and you'll get a code. Games that I've played twice, and we've each won once. So
you slapped the shit out of me last time we played. Anyway, we'll catch you guys live next time. If you're watching this as a past episode, obviously we appreciate you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. And we'll see you guys this Tuesday, and then obviously live this Sunday. I'm gonna stop rambling. It's really because I just don't want to hang up. I don't want to hang up the phone. You hang up first.
God.
Hulk smash that button, right? Shit. We need to start. So there's a site called Voices, by the way, where you can hire voice actors. Jaden, you rock. You fucking rock. You can hire voice actors to read your scripts. And I want to get somebody to do. I'm going to pay them, obviously, because that's how it works. I want to get people doing that's Jim's pick of the week, because that's me, right? But I want to get actual voice actors to do all of our, like, I want to get like new sub and all that jazz, and I want to get, that is the goal.
Who are you gonna get to do it?
Well, what you do is you write a script, and this is we're still live here. You write a script, and then you submit it, and then people they audition for it, and you can listen to whoever does it.
Voice and
and then and you pick who you want to pick, who you want to do it, and then boom, it's done.
Like,
so
like a famous person.
Oh, like Ryan Reynolds, that'd be dope.
Oh god.
Have Deadpool say our stuff. Wolverine, do you guys like Transformer comics? When we first started this, I read an IDW Transformers versus Terminators book, and I fucking loved it. But I have not gotten into any more. But I would love to get into some Transformers comics for sure.
I will let you take the lead on all that.
Dude, Transformers rock, dude. Post-credit scenes. Oh yeah, dude. All right. Well, we'll get to it, guys. But again, appreciate it.